Hey Brad, Jessica from Peterson SEO. Thank you so much for speaking with me today and agreeing to accept this video. I totally understand you just signed a new contract, and you are frustrated because over the last 18 months or so, you saw declining traffic and jobs. And so I just want to go over a few things. There's been so many changes in the Google algorithm that 2 years ago, what worked and even what was working last year doesn't work anymore. And the focus has got to be the combination of SEO and AEO, which is Ask Engine Optimization. So I just want to go through just a few things. I don't know if this current website here is the new one that they built for you or if that's in the process. But I just want to make sure that you have these few things that you can discuss with them and make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do so that you can get back to where you were and start dominating that area. Okay. So as you know, when somebody starts to search, most of the time in an emergency, they're not going to know your name, your brand name. They're going to search those local keywords. So, a couple of the first things you might see are Google cost per click ads and oftentimes your local service ads, but only about 10% of people actually click through to those. The one of the most important positions here is going to be your Google business profile. And let me skip on over to your area. So, let's see. I do not see that you guys are actually in the top three, at least for Renton. And so in order to get in the top three of the Map Pack, there are several factors. Um, and one of the biggest ones is citations, and that is simply listing your business name, address, and phone number in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, Yelp, etc. So you need to have more and better quality than your competition. And obviously, the more five-star reviews you can get, but it needs to stay active. You need to be uploading new pictures every month, doing new updates, and really do better than what your competitors are doing. Um, and then the most important part here is the organic section. That's where most people go. Nearly 70% will skip everything else and come right here. So this is where you need to be for your service areas for each of those keywords. And you can see when it comes to Seattle water damage, Fisher restoration is in the top here. So let's go back to your website. It's a decent website. It does run really slow. I think the video here is part of that, but the images load slow. So part of all this new Google algorithm over the last year, all these updates, is it needs to be user friendly. The content on your website needs to be built around your customers. So it needs to be answering their questions. It needs to be conversational, not just informational, right? It's important that you have a separate page for each of your services. So if those are the only services you offer, then that's okay. It looks like you serve an entire county, so you really need to have separate service pages for each service in each service area. So if you're in Renton, you should have Renton pages, Seattle pages, um, and some of those other cities. Okay. Now, Google does not rank based on appearance. It is based on your written content. So you do need to have quite a bit of this written content. You do have a little bit, but not nearly as much as you need to have. You need to have 150 words of written content for every keyword you're going to target. And you need to make sure you're targeting those local keywords. Keywords need a repetition of at least three to be indexed, let alone to rank. And there's multiple variations of keywords. So you want to make sure that you're using them and capitalizing on those keywords. You want to make sure that all pages have original content, nothing copied. Um, So that's really, really, really important, is to work on your content and keyword strategy, and get those geo pages going. Um, Now, SEO is the foundation, but AEO builds off of that. That's answer engine optimization. That's your Siri devices, Alexas. Those are people asking questions. And so having FAQ pages on your home page and each of your major service pages and those location pages, answering those local questions is going to help you. But it all starts with the foundation of your website and the SEO. So if the SEO isn't there, the AEO can't work. So they work hand in hand. So it is really, really important that you work on those strategies. If we look at the top ranking organic website for Seattle, it is Fisher Restoration here. Pardon me. This is their service area page, where you can see they have different pages for each of their service areas. They have the click to call buttons. I always recommend having a form right at the top of your page. You want to have call to action everywhere. You want to make it super easy, so no matter where a person lands on your page, they can reach you. And having the call outs like 24/7, arrive in 30 minutes, that type of thing. All of those things are going to help you with your conversions. Um, they have an okay amount of content, but they even don't have enough on their main page. But they do have a ton of service area pages and a ton of content on their website that is helping them to index and to rank. If we look at Ahrefs that shows how your website performs, we can see that you have a rating of a 4.8 for your website out of 100, which means Google doesn't trust your website, and that has a lot to do with the quality of the content on your website, as well as your backlinks and your referring domains. Now, this is a popularity contest, so not all backlinks are created equal. You want them to be related to your services. Do follow links because they push power. You get credit for one backlink per referring domain. And if you think a referring domain is any website that will provide your website with a backlink from their site to your site. If you think of a referring domain as like a power source. So if you want to power up your favorite tool, you're going to plug that into a power source. And the plug goes to your tool and it fires up the tool. It's the same thing for your website. So without power, your website can't rank and you can't get found online. You have been indexed for 84 keywords and you are getting about 89 people on average to your website. And I can see down here over the last 8 months, your traffic has been climbing, and I do see your backlinks climbing, so that is a plus. But you definitely need to make sure you're getting the right type of links. And if we look at how the linking strategy is going, for do follow links, it's pretty much just your website here, which is okay, but it's really, really important that you're also getting your keyword backlinks so that you can power those backlinks and get those ranking. If we look at your keywords, you do have quite a few that you are on the first page for, so that's great. We just need to push more power to those. And then going after some of those other service areas like Bellevue and where you're at. So you want to focus on those, but you need to have those separate service area pages. If we look at your competition, they have a rating of a 19 with only 400 backlinks, but they've been indexed for over 400 keywords because they have all of those pages and all that content. And so they're getting over 600 people on their website each and every month. So hopefully you found this information to be helpful. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I really hope that you're able to work with this new company and get everything that you need in place. But if not, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thanks a lot for watching.